Good morning. Welcome to the 2018-19 Convocation for Missouri State University West Plains campus. We are delighted you are with us here today. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you a little better with this coming year. As you look around you, you're going to see a lot of faculty and staff that are here to support you throughout this school year, so please reach out to them. We are here to make this a good, successful academic experience for you this year. Our faculty and staff have a heart for students. Speaking of individuals who have a heart for students, I'd like to introduce you today to our speaker. Dr. Angela Totty is our morning speaker. She is our Dean of Academic Services and serves in many roles. Not only does she lead our Student Services Division, but she's also our Athletic Director, so she wears many, many hats. You have seen her throughout the campus already this week. She oversees many areas, as well as our sports areas, and again, has a heart for students. Dr. Totty has her Doctor of Education degree in Educational Leadership and a Specialist of Education and Community College Administration from the Arkansas State University at Jonesboro. Dr. Totty lives in the community with her husband and her two sons. Caleb is a Missouri State University West Plains student himself, and her son Morgan is an 8th grade student at West Plains Middle School. The family are here in the West Plains community and very actively involved in all of those activities. So I would like to proudly introduce to you our Dean of Student Services, Dr. Angela Totty.
Thank you, Dr. Lawler. Okay, I've spoke to most every all the IDS classes. I speak in front of groups all the time, but you know what? I am nervous right now. Like, this is important. Okay, there are a lot of people standing at the back. Right now is your opportunity to come on down. There's seats. There's like a whole 2 rows up here. Y'all, it's not going to bother me. Y'all come on down. You don't want to stand up this whole time. Come on in. Good job. All right. Well, congratulations on taking one of the biggest steps that could change your entire life. Right now, you may not realize it, but I can tell you that everyone on this stage and everyone sitting down there can attest that making the choice to go to college changes lives. So I'm going to give you a little backstory. Little baby Totty was not born Totty. She was a heart. Aww. So growing up, I always drew hearts on stuff because that was my last name. That's cool. When I got married, though, I became a Totty. While I was growing up, though, my family moved around a little bit because my dad was a pastor. And so he pastored churches in South Arkansas, North Louisiana. My mom was a teacher. So basically, we were poor. But that was okay because that helped me pay through college because I got a Pell Grant. So when we were 9, I moved to Louisiana with my family. And we lived in a little tiny town called Sarepta, Louisiana. That's where my mom taught. If you've ever heard the song, You're Gonna Miss This by Trace Adkins. Anybody heard that song? That's the town and the school that he's talking about. We had a blinking caution light, the Hornet Drive-In, and a corner store called The Shortstop. That was my town. So I tell you, I grew up in a little tiny town. So those of you who are from small communities, I know what that's like. I know how it feels whenever you do something and before you even get home, your parents already know about it. I could tell you those stories, but that's not why we're here. So I had a whopping number of 23 in my graduating class. That was the largest graduating class the school had had in years. But if you were going to be in the top 10% of a graduating class of 23, and a lot of scholarships want you to be in the top 10%, you'd either have to be the valedictorian or the salutatorian, and I was neither. So those scholarships kind of out the window. I was younger. I started school when I was 4, so by the time I graduated, I had just turned 17. I wasn't quite ready, so I decided to take a year off. I thought my parents were going to murder me in my sleep because you don't take a year off, you keep going to school. But I just wasn't ready, and I knew I wasn't ready. So I got a job slinging burgers at the Master Chef. My sister hooked me up with it. She was already working there, so I got the job. And I went to work, and every day I worked alongside of a woman named Ms. Mary. And Ms. Mary had worked there for almost 30 years, since the place opened. So every day she would walk to work on feet and legs that were swollen with gout, just trying to get to 65 so she can earn Social Security. And one afternoon, we were cleaning the fryers. I was standing beside her, and I'd been gabbing like I'm prone to do. And I was chatting about going to college, and she said, "I tell you what, little girl." "Yes, ma'am." "You get your butt to school or I'm going to kick it there." I said, "Yes, ma'am, I'm going. I'm going this fall. I promise you, I'm going." So I did. I went to school to Southern Arkansas University in Magnolia, Arkansas. It was 25 miles from where I lived, but that was the school that my mom went to. You see, my mom decided to go back to college when all four of us kids started school. I was the youngest, so when I started kindergarten, she started college. 3 years later, she finished her 4-year degree, summa cum laude, which means she's really smart. I am very proud of my mom. She was an excellent example for me on how to achieve the goals that you have. But one time, she didn't have a sitter, and I have a vivid memory of sitting in the back of a classroom in Wilson Hall, looking out the window at the bell tower at Southern Arkansas University. And I knew if I made any noise, I was going to pay the price for my backside, so I was real quiet, looking out the window, coloring, and I felt so grown up because I was at college. So when it got time for me to go to college, guess where I was looking? Southern Arkansas University. So those of you who are parents, that you're embarking on this journey right now when you have kids at home, don't ever think that this is not going to make a difference. It makes a huge difference, not just in your life, but in your child's life as well. So I went to school. My sister was already there. She had gone back to school as a non-traditional student. She was working full-time. She had 2 children, was married. Here I was, the same age as most of everybody that was a starting freshman because I'd started school so young. And I was footloose and fancy-free. All I had to do was go to class, work part-time. That was it. I got a Pell Grant. I wasn't worried about working too much. But you know what I found out? It was still hard. Like, she had a whole bunch of stuff going on, but I still struggled some with figuring out how to do the college thing. And I was very blessed to have her to kind of help guide me through some of the things that we had to deal with. And I will say that each one of you, you're going to find that something that is threatening to stop your education, and you've got to decide what you're going to do with that. Okay, so I'm going to stop. Those of you who had me in IDS this week know that I'm prone to do some activities, right? Oh, Dr. Lawler, I taught them that guns are not allowed on campus. Didn't I teach you that? That's right. Okay, so we're going to do an activity. You may not realize this, but everyone has a thumb that matches someone else. Now, not your thumbprint, it's independent, but if you look at the shape of your thumb, go ahead. It's all right. It's safe. Just know that there is a special thumb bunny out there. And fortunately for you, they're sitting right beside you today. Yes. Okay, all right, not really. Well, we are going to do this. You're going to have a partner. So 2 people. If you're not sitting beside someone, move so you can be beside someone, because we about to thumb wrestle. All right, I'm going to give you a minute. Find your special thumb body. Faculty and staff, find you a thumb buddy. All right. All right, so everybody has their thumb buddy. Here are your instructions. You ready? I'm going to give you 20 seconds to get as many pins as you can. Now, you're not going to have to go through the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a thumb war, 5. Okay, you don't have to do that. I'm just going to say go, and I'm going to count down 20, and you have to get as many pins as you can in 20 seconds. Everybody know what they're doing? All right, ready? Go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stop! Oh. All right. Let's do an assessment here. How many got 50? Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got, okay, how many got 70? Anybody get 70, 75? Okay, what about 100? All right, good job. All right, now don't tell them your secret. I will tell you that everybody in this room could get at least 50, at least. All right, we're going to try it again. We'll give you 20 seconds. Get your thumb, buddy. And go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop! All right. Miss Kathy Boyce, how many did you get? She got 40. How many did you get the first time? You got 4 the first time and 40 the second time. It seems like there's some learning that took place. How did you do it? You agreed on a solution. And what was that solution? All right, so one of you just let the other pin you, right? Or you pinned each other. And somebody said, we cheated. Is that cheated? Because remember, the directions were, how many pins can you get in 20 seconds? Not how many times can you win? All right, I do activities for a purpose. So what in the world is the purpose of thumb wrestling? We get much further when we choose to cooperate rather than compete. We get much further when we cooperate rather than compete. The moment you begin to allow something to become a competition, we lose, period. So as you're going through this thing called college, if you feel like it's a competition, it's going to be tough because you're always going to feel like you're not making it. But instead, if you will take a step back and say, who is there around me that is here to help me succeed? Because this place is full of them. There are so many people who work and teach and labor on this campus so that you can succeed. Find them. Take advantage of it. Learn how to cooperate with them. Anybody who has ever been on a team, there may be times when you shine as an individual, but you never win as an individual. You win as a team. And so we have to think in terms of, how do I cooperate so that I can succeed? I knew in my journey, if I didn't go and finish college, my alternative solution was back at the MasterChef. And that was not a life that I wanted. I had dreams and I had things that I wanted to do. I wanted to be a doctor. So I kept at it. There was nothing that I would allow to elevate above that goal. Far too many times what I see in students is that they allow stuff to be more important than their education. I'll name one. I want a new car. So with that one item, you got a new car, which means you've now got a car payment. And you've got insurance, and you've got maintenance. And all of a sudden, now you've got all of this expense, so you've got to work more. And now you don't have time to go to class and study because you're working, and you don't have the money because you have... And now all of a sudden, stuff has come in between you and your education. That was what my parents were afraid of for me. They thought that I would start working, get some money, and want to buy a car, and I did. and they wouldn't let me. Like you are not doing this, because they knew the trap. So my advice to you is don't fall into that trap. Don't let those things become more important than your education, because your education ultimately is going to take you where you want to go. I finished my bachelor's degree at Southern Arkansas. I worked for 2 years at a serious offenders program. Lots of stories from that. I won't tell those today. But I decided I needed to get my master's if I was going to stay in the field of counseling. So I started looking for, how do I finance this thing for my master's? There was a full-time job open at Southern Arkansas in the housing department, and I got that job. That came with free tuition for employees. So I was able to get my master's degree debt-free. That was awesome. It took me a little longer because by this time I was married and I had small children. I was working full-time, but still doing it. When I finished that degree, I had been working at Southern Arkansas for 4 years, and I realized I loved being on a college campus. Absolutely love it. It is my passion to be on a campus and watch our students become who they want to become. So I stuck with it. I started looking for a job, and I found a position at Arkansas State University in Beebe, Arkansas. Now, this was my first experience working at a 2-year school. They did the associate levels similar to us here in West Plains. 12 years I was there. It was a wonderful 12 years. Got to raise my kids in a great place. But I wasn't finished because my goal was to get a doctorate. So while I was working, I started going to school at Arkansas State in Jonesboro, and I finished my doctorate there. So now, I stand before you, Dr. Angela Totty, Dean of Student Services and Athletic Director, and I am living the dream. Some people never get the chance to achieve that. They let things come in between. But I love what I do. This was my dream, to be a doctor, to be working in higher education, to be able to see your dreams come true, maybe even push you to it. And I know you all have one. So right now, we're going to fill this room with your dreams. This is where you're going to get loud, and I mean real loud. All right? We'll practice. Well, you know you make me wanna. Whoa, that was bad. Y'all got to do better than that. I was singing and everything. Well, you know you make me wanna. There you go. When it gets time to shout, I want to hear some shouting. What is your dream? What is the big one? Like, I want to play in the NBA. I want to travel to Ecuador and save all the little children. What is your dream? I'm going to count down to 1, and I want you to shout it loud and proud. 3, 2, 1. There you go. There's your dream. Dreams take work. They don't just happen. They take late nights, early mornings, sweat, blood, tears, all of it. You got to have goals. You got to have the thing that's going to help you keep moving on. All right, so you got to have a goal. Maybe your goal is, I'm going to have a 3.0. Maybe your goal is, I just want to pass anatomy. Maybe your goal is, all right, so you got a goal in mind? 3, 2, 1. Nice. Nice. All right, so when I talked a little bit about barriers, those things that might stop you, the thing right now that you are worrying the most is going to come between you and your school. It could be finances, could be fear, could be family, could be work. Whatever it is that you right now are concerned, this is going to be a problem for me if I don't watch out. I need to know what that is. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Procrastination and parties. Those were the two that I heard the loudest. Here's the thing, the choice is yours. You can choose whether or not to go to that party. You can choose whether or not to procrastinate. And that's the choice that you've got to make. Is it more important than getting my education? Is it more important than my future? So what it takes is a commitment. And that's one of the things that we're asking from you today when we do the Book of Grizzlies, is to make a commitment. You must be committed, because if you're not committed to achieving what you're setting out to, the slightest little thing will bump you off. So when times get hard, you got to get harder. When times get tough, you've got to be tougher. When you get low, and there will be times when you feel low, you've got to know that there are others around you to help you rise above, okay? That is us. That's what we do. And congratulations. You've just finished your first week of college. Good job.
How about one more time for Dr. Totty? That was awesome. Well, good morning, Grizzlies. How's everybody doing? Doing awesome? What's up, Kennedy? I love saying good morning, Grizzlies, because every single one of us in this room is a Grizzly. There are a lot of things today in this world that that go into not uniting us, but there is one thing that is true for every single person in this room, and that as we are all Grizzlies. I have the pleasure this morning to introduce to you somebody who is going to represent you as your students with the student body. Our president of the Student Government Association, Lindsay Parker, is going to tell you a little bit about what it means to be a Grizzly. So please welcome Lindsay Parker.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Lindsay Parker, and I'm the Student Government Association president this year, and I'm so honored to be standing up here on behalf of all of the student body. I have a question for each of you. So what made you choose to be a Grizzly? So just think about that for a second. What it means to be a Grizzly is different to each one of us. So some people have their whole life planned out, some are maybe still planning, and some are maybe just here because they think it's just what they're supposed to do. But I was in the same place that you all are now last year. I just conquered my first week of college. I was nervous. I didn't really know what to expect. I was missing home, and I began to think, what am I doing here? I truly didn't know what it meant to be a Grizzly. So as the year went on, I decided to make a conscious choice to have a true college experience. I began to get involved on campus with the ambassadors, the Ag Club, SGA, and then just different activities that were held on campus. This allowed me to reach out and meet several different people that had the same interest as I did. My circle began to grow, and I was starting to get a better understanding of what it actually meant to be a Grizzly. Missouri State University West Plains began to feel like a second home to me. The staff, the faculty, and the students were always so welcoming, and they were always there to help because they wanted me to succeed. They want you to succeed. By the end of the second semester, I understood what it meant to be a Grizzly. Being a Grizzly meant that I had the power to decide who and what I wanted to be. The options were limitless. MSU West Plains gives everyone the same opportunity and support, but you have to be the one to take the leap and decide who you really want to be. Be the change you want to see in yourself. I challenge all of you to find out what it means to be a Grizzly to you. And I want to thank the student body for putting their trust in me and to be the voice of the students. I encourage you all to be involved on campus, whether that be a campus job, a club, or even a Zumba class. Hey, that's fun. Or I encourage you all to be determined and successful in everything you do. Don't be afraid to reach out and talk to someone new. You never know. They could really be your lifelong best friend. Understand that it won't always be easy, but it'll take a lot of willingness, dedication, and hard work on your part. But don't be afraid to talk to someone who's done it before. You are given the tools to achieve your goals here at MSU West Plains. Now it's up to you to decide what to do with them. I want to personally welcome you to the Grizzly family, and I'm excited to see what all the great accomplishments that you make this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay. There are two things in life that you will always have. One is your name, and the other is your education. People cannot take those things from you. Today, we're going to do something that we've done for the last 6 years, and that is you're going to come up and you are going to sign your name to the Book of Grizzlies. And what this means is that you are now officially a Grizzly, but it also, with your name, like you do with other things, it says, I am committed to this. So if you're signing on a mortgage, you're signing on a loan on your car, you're signing or something else, it is, I am committed to do this. This very personal thing that you are, signified by your name, I am going to do this. So this is how we're going to do it. Everyone, all the new freshmen, are going to physically, you're going to come up to sign your name. So we're going to dismiss you, faculty, those of you and staff who are helping me with this, go ahead and get in those places if you would. You're going to go to the sides, not down the middle, to the sides, and you're going to come up the stairs, row by row, row by row. So we're going to start in the back, and I think Dr. McCollum and Kathy Boys are going to dismiss you row by row. So you'll come up here, you're going to come up to the sides, I'm going to keep this moving, or otherwise we'll be here all day, so keep that in mind. So there's a pen, there's 2 books, there's a pen for each book. Now, the other thing, at the end of the convocation, after everybody signed their name, then you're going to sign your name again, and that's going to be on an IDS roster sheet that's out in the lobby. There's a set of tables there in front of the trophy. So if you want credit for being here at convocation, then you have to sign that under your particular instructor's name. So that's an important little thing too. All right? All right, so let's get started.